Hi everyone, I hope you got on all right with the fashion project that we did last week, and this last week I've been putting together another project for you. This project would be really good again for any age group. If they're the younger ones, then they'd need to be supervised because it does involve some small beads. Hopefully you've got some of those at home, maybe. And it would be really good for teenagers.
So this is the weave that I've put together. As you know, I've been trying to find kind of just things around the house that other people might still have as well at home, and try to put and devise a project that might be of interest to people. So as you can see, let's go a little bit more slowly. I've used a paper plate. I had some party paper plates handy. You might have some of those at home. If not, you can use sort of a cereal box painted or any other way of kind of creating a background for a weave. I've put some little slots in at the top there, and I've used some plastic straws and some paper straws in here, and I have used what's called a wrapping technique in textiles, and it just involves using all your old sort of scrap bits and bobs of crafts that you might have. So you can see in here I've got some beads, I've got some wire, different sizes of beads as well. I've got some sequins, I've got some fabrics, different coloured wires, huge beads there. And then I've woven them, into the overall piece, and I will show you how to do these. Okay, I've obviously got quite a few crafts, sort of arts and crafts kind of materials, but the things that I've kind of found at home, hopefully you might have access to some of them already. So let's see what we've got. So there I've got a paper plate, and I've got some straws, I've got a pen I'm going to cover, I've got a lollipop stick, some beads, and scissors, sequins, any scrap bits of fabrics, any threads you might have, any ribbons. That's come off a raffia skirt. And this is some leftover Angelina fibres that I had. You might not have those, so don't worry about that, that's fine. And cables, old cables that is, these ones I can't use. So just to show you how to get the original weaving board created, I've marked out here about every inch a pencil line, so you can see I've put those in. And then I'll do it over this side. So I'm just going to and then grab your thread. So you can use string, wool, thread, just something strong that's not going to break. I'm going to turn that over on the back and tie a knot, or we weft the horizontal bit, and the long lengths are called the warp, and we just go. We're going to start on an over and go on an under, and then over, under, and over. Right, so, and that's the start of it. Now the next one that you do after that, over, you're going to start on an under. So you'll start on an under, and then you'll go over, under, on the wraps. So this is obviously wrapped around a green plastic straw, and then I've used some silver wire and threaded some beads onto it and then wrapped it around, and it just becomes a decorative sort of piece. But if you had a theme at GCSE that you wanted to have like a colour scheme that would fit in with the project that you're doing, then obviously you can select the relevant colours and materials that you want to include. And I've got a strip of fabric I'm just going to wrap around just on the diagonal kind of there. Can you see that? So I'm just pulling it really nice and tightly around the straw, like so.
nice and tightly twisting it, which just shows a little bit of the colour coming through the fabric there. And then I would grab a prepared, I've threaded some beads onto some wire, and just to hold the beads on, I've just overlapped the wire at the end and hooked it on to make it thicker so the beads don't drop off. And I've done that kind of a little bit longer than the straw, and then I'm going to use this to hold the fabric in place. So it's going to be wrapped around like so with the wire nice and tightly, and you can just spread the beads out as you start wrapping it around like so, so you can get beads on either side of the straw, fabric in place like that. And then I'll just use the end of the wire just to grip it on to the straw a bit. Okay, so I finished my wrap, which you can see is pretty decorative, and I'll just show you how to put that in the weave. But just to say, you can do the same thing with, I've done a pen there, just decorating the pen. You can still use it, take the lid off and still use it. So it's quite nice to dress up a pen. And then I had an old cable, which I've also used. I used a bit of Angelina on here and some beads and wire and tassels and strips of fabrics. So that's quite useful because then you can kind of bend it into shapes, which is quite good. And you can also do the wraps on thicker cable as well, like this one. This is just a cut off bit of cable, but I've used quite a bit of Angelina in there and some beads and some wool actually. So going back to my weave, which I've got, you can see these ones that I've done here. I threaded them through and I've just left a bit of a space here at the bottom, and with the one that I've just made, literally every other warp length, which is the vertical lengths, you're just going to look at the previous one you've woven through, and that's the straw there. And then I'm just going to, if I've started on and over there, I'm going to go on and under. And because the straw is pretty bendable and flexible, you should be able to just weave that through. So I'm going over this warp length and under this one, wriggle that through, like so. There we go. So I would just push all of those up together. I could probably squeeze a few more in there. So I've got my cable, which again I could have a go at threading through. So let's have a try at that. Pushing that through. Well, I've done loads of different colours in here, but as I said, if it's definitely a project that you're going to have a go at, obviously stick to a colour theme that's appropriate to your subject matter. Like that. Okay.
So there we have it.